Alright guys, welcome to 4.67. Now today we're going to talk about OBD. OBD is onboard diagnostics. This is for any vehicle that has a computer system in there. Now depending on your generation of vehicle, you will have a different connector. Now first off, we're going to start out with OBD1. OBD1 is the connectors that you'll see like this test thing. They'll have a special tool to use them. And they'll look like this. And they will have plugs like that. Now, OBD1 was the first generation of its kind. It came out in '68 with Volkswagen and its first computerized injection system. Now, what it was for was reading DCTs, diagnostic code troubleshooting, basically, and it told you what was wrong, so you didn't have to do as much wondering and searching to find out what the issue was. Now, OBD1 isn't the best of systems. OBD1 has very few trouble codes. It was almost impossible to change at the time it was created, it was almost impossible to change the programming of them. Hence why cars that have OBD1 also use chips. Any car you see that uses a chip, that has to use a chip, let me clarify that, is normally OBD1 because the chips plug into the ECUs to rewrite them. But all in all, OBD1 was revolutionary. It added an edge to diagnostics for the average mechanic. Of course, the scan tools at the time were expensive and out of reach for everyone. But now, we're going to go ahead and talk about OBD2. Not sure when OBD2 came out. It was in between the 90s, about 91. I know OBD2 started because it became mandatory in 96. All 96 and up vehicles will have OBD2. There is no doubt about that. The computers also changed in 96. The computers went from electronic control units, ECU, to PCMs, powertrain control modules. This is a whole different topic. We'll talk about that on a later subject. Today, we are going to be talking about OBD2 and the benefits of what OBD2 does for us. So, we're going to go here. For those of you who don't know, this little connector here is called an OBD2 port. This allows you to connect into your ECU or PCM. ECU is more the most relevant term and is still used today. But it is carried by a series of wires called a CAN bus. And for those of you who don't know, in order to hook up to one of those systems, you will need a code reader such as this. And as you can see, it has a bunch of wires. And I'll have a connector like that. I'm sure you've all at one time have seen or used one of these code readers. AutoZone does them for free. All the car places do. Free. So, we're going to talk about what OBD2 does now. OBD2 opened up a variety of new things that the OBD1 system could not support. That was a bunch of new sensors. You have MAF sensors, intake air temp sensors, all that stuff. It revolutionized and modernized the EFI experience. It allowed for more efficient engine tuning. It allowed for more efficient troubleshooting. It also allowed more systems to be in place. Nowadays with OBD2, instead of being like my car that has an OBD1 connector for the ABS and OBD2 are connected in one. Your steering control is connected into OBD2. Basically, OBD2 is the root of everything for your car. It talks to your ECU, it talks to your ABS, it talks to your security system. Basically, it's the front door. The OBD2 port is the front door to access anything in the car nowadays. Now, as we'll go, what does OBD2 offer that OBD1 does not? First off, OBD1 does not offer data logging. What is data logging, you ask? Data logging is where you can see what the sensors are doing in an engine, such as the MAF sensor for say. When I hook up my OBD2 sensor, I can tell you that my MAF is running this such and such value, or my intake air temp is running a certain air temp, or what my load is, or, what my fuel injectors are doing. It allows you to step by step understand what each component is doing. You have readings from all your sensors. Now, what can you do with those? That is going to be in another video. We're going to go step by step on all the values. We're going to show you what each one does, how you can use them. We're also going to do a portion on tuning and how you use those values to tune and what those values can show you. But to wrap up this video, we're basically going to say, review what we did. OBD1 was the beginning and the revolutionary start of onboard diagnostics. This allowed you to be able to read codes off of a vehicle and figure out, well, that's the issue. Now, saying that, OBD1 had its issues. Some codes could be faulty, And what I mean by faulty is it sends one code and another problem is causing it. You have those in OBD2 as well. That's just computers. Computers go down a chart. Is this working? Yes or no? And then it will follow the chart, and then it will figure out what the code is. But that's all for this video. Like and subscribe, and remember, be savage.